Good. Okay, enough. Okay. Good morning. धन्यवाद सर. हाँ तो आप यूज़ तो करनी चाहिए. ऊपर तो कर तो मास्क ये कुछ ये तरह कॉल करेंगे. Good morning. We shall start the next chapter. Go briefly. We shall go briefly about making of the Constitution of India. In the last class, we had discussed about historical background. हमने historical background देखा था. अभी we shall start making of the Constitution. Okay, we shall discuss how the Constitution was made, कैसे Constitution तैयार हुआ था. Okay, and how the Constitution came into effect. Okay, so in the last class we had understood what is a constitution. Okay, so in this class we shall see how the Constitution of India was made. For the first time in 1934, the M.N. Roy, who is M.N. Roy? That is the communist M.N. Roy, the founder of one of the founder of Communist Party of India. Communist Party, okay? Communist Party of India. Okay, he was the founder of Communist Party of India, and he proposed a constitution. उन्होंने पहले बार constitution के लिए propose किया था. मतलब he gave a proposal that India should have a constitution. So in 1934, and in 1935, INC, Indian National Congress, proposed a constitution. So ये सब इंडिया के लिए एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के लिए प्रपोजल दिए थे. 1938 also जवाहरलाल नेहरू in objective resolution said कि the constitution of free India must be framed with outside interference, means British interference, by a constituent assembly. Okay, which is a constituent assembly elected on the basis of adult franchise. So that was the remark of Jawaharlal Nehru. He said कि जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली बनेगा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन तैयार करने के लिए उनका सब मेंबर डायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड होना चाहिए. ये जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने 1938 में ये प्रपोजल रखा था. ओके, सो यू नो कि कैबिनेट मिशन प्लान जो तैयार हुआ था 1946 में, वो कैबिनेट मिशन जो लिखा हुआ है लास्ट क्लास हमने पढ़ा था, वो 1946 में इंडिया को आया था. और ये 1946 में इसका प्लान मतलब प्रपोजल दिया था. ओके, नाउ वी शैल सी द नेक्स्ट थिंग, व्हाट इज ए कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली. ए कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली इज ए पीपल हु आर एंगेज्ड इन मेकिंग ए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया. सो assembly of people, okay, that is who are engaged in making a constitution of India, is called ये पेन नहीं चलता, called constituent assembly. Okay, so recommended single assembly for united India, means कैबिनेट मिशन पार्टीशन के लिए राजी नहीं हुआ था, वो पार्टीशन को मना किया था. इसलिए एक असेंबली, एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली फॉर यूनाइटेड इंडिया, मींस इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान. सो द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली जो प्रपोजल दिया था, कितने मेंबर रहेंगे टोटल? 389 मेंबर रहेंगे. इनमें से 296 ब्रिटिश इंडिया, नीचे में लिखा हुआ है 219 ब्रिटिश इंडिया, ओके, और 296 ब्रिटिश इंडिया नेक्स्ट 93 फॉर प्रिंसली स्टेट्स। प्रिंसली स्टेट्स जो नेटिव स्टेट थे, मतलब जो राजा महाराजा के द्वारा परिचालित हुआ था, शासन हुआ था, वो प्रिंसली स्टेट है। सो प्रिंसली स्टेट मतलब नेटिव स्टेट्स, मतलब जो प्रिंसली स्टेट्स, प्रिंस 2 मिनट के लिए थोड़ा रुको। Please hold on for 2 minutes. So that is princely states. Sorry, that is British India provinces. So नीचे में लिखा हुआ है ब्रिटिश इंडिया प्रोविंसेस, जो ब्रिटिश के द्वारा शासित हो रहा था। 93 प्रिंसली स्टेट्स। ओके, सो इस नीचे में लिखा हुआ है 296 में 11 गवर्नर्स प्रोविंस। 11 गवर्नर्स प्रोविंस मतलब जो सब उड़ीसा, मतलब उड़ीसा था, और बॉम्बे, मद्रास, बंगाल। ओके, सो देयर आर मेनी प्रोविंसेस जिसमें गवर्नर हेड था, इसीलिए इसको गवर्नर्स प्रोविंस कहा जा रहा है। इसमें लिखा हुआ है मद्रास, बॉम्बे, यूपी, बिहार, सेंट्रल प्रोविंसेस, उड़ीसा, पंजाब। एनडब्ल्यूएफपी का मतलब नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न फ्रंटियर प्रोविंसेस, एनडब्ल्यूएफपी, जो बेलूचिस्तान अभी पाक में है। नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न फ्रंटियर प्रोविंसेस। सो एक क्वेश्चन भी आता है कि कौन सब थे स्टेट फ्रंटियर, नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न फ्रंटियर प्रोविंसेस। ओके, अभी वो पॉक में है, एनडब्ल्यूपी, सिंध, बंगाल। सो इसमें 296 मेंबर से 292 मेंबर आ रहे थे 11 प्रोविंसेस से। तो 4 जो होते हैं वो चीफ कमिश्नर प्रोविंसेस से आ रहे थे। दिल्ली, अजमेर मेवाड़ कहाँ है? राजस्थान, कुर्ग, ओके, कुर्ग इन कर्नाटक, ब्रिटिश बेलूचिस्तान। तो ये 4 जो कमिश्नरेट प्रोविंसेस, जब अभी हम उसको जो यूनियन टेरिटरी के नाम में पता जा रहा है, तो ये अंडर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अंडर था 4 प्रोविंसेस। तो उसमें से 4 आ रहे थे। सो 292 प्लस 4 is equal to 296 from ब्रिटिश इंडिया। ओके, इसके बाद 93 मेंबर कहाँ से आ रहे थे? प्रिंसली स्टेट्स से, जो नेटिव स्टेट, उसको प्रिंसली स्टेट का दूसरा नाम क्या है? नेटिव स्टेट। ओके, नेटिव स्टेट मीन्स दे वर इनडायरेक्टली रूल्ड बाय ब्रिटिश। सो 93 मेंबर टोटल हुआ ना, 389। ओके, सो देन हाउ दे केम, वो कैसे मतलब इलेक्शन हुआ था या नॉमिनेशन? 2 तरह की मेंबर थे। एक जो ब्रिटिश इंडिया से दे वर इनडायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड, indirect election for members of British India. Indirect election means that is what is the meaning of indirect election? Indirect election का मतलब होता है कि that members from British India, ओके, सो जानकारी रखिए क्योंकि क्वेश्चन कभी कभी आ जाता है। सो ब्रिटिश इंडिया वेयर इलेक्टेड बाय whom? Indirect elected means they were not directly elected by people, They are elected by members of provincial legislative assemblies. ओके, सो द प्रोविंशियल लेजिस्लेटिव जो था उसमें से इलेक्टेड हुए थे, इसीलिए इसको इनडायरेक्ट इलेक्शन कहा जाता है. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट और नॉट? दैट मेंबर्स फ्रॉम ब्रिटिश इंडिया वर इलेक्टेड बाय मेंबर्स ऑफ प्रोविंशियल लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली, जिसको हम विधानसभा भी कहते हैं, उसका नाम प्रोविंशियल लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली था. तो इनमें से जो 292 members were elected, and from commissioner province they were elected by the central legislative assembly. Okay, so this is how the members came to be elected. Okay, so indirect election for the members of British India. Then that is nomination members of princely state. जो princely states के जो member आ रहे थे उससे नॉमिनेट किया जाता है. कौन नॉमिनेट किया? द रूलर्स ऑफ प्रिंसली स्टेट, जो नेटिव जो राजा महाराजाओं ने थे उन्होंने नॉमिनेट कर रहे थे. मतलब रूलर्स ऑफ प्रिंसली स्टेट्स nominated their members to whom? To constituent assembly. So that is called nomination. Got it? Now in proportion to population, roughly 1 seat per 1 million. So there are 389 people. So according to population, one member represented 10 lakh people. One member 10 lakh people. That is the proportion. So ये भी एक क्वेश्चन होता है कि what was the proportion of population in the Constituent Assembly of India? That is 1:10. Means one member represented 10 lakh people. That is 1 million. Okay. Are you getting my point or not? So this is how the Constituent Assembly was composed. In this way. Now the Constituent Assembly now fixed, now elected. So election was held. Election for Constituent Assembly was held in July and August 1946. ओके, सो पहले इलेक्शन हुआ, तो बाद में Constituent Assembly was framed and it held its first meeting on 9 December 1946. Because why there were small number of members? Because the Muslim boycotted the meeting and insisted on separate state of Pakistan. So they demanded Pakistan as a separate country. Hence the members, Muslim members, those were elected. Because out of the election, if you find Congress get 208 seats in the Constituent Assembly, and Muslim League tha, and other parties. Okay, so that is 75. Okay, that is 15 member, other members 15. So that is at first, so 75 members ऐसे करके सब इलेक्शन हुआ था. Okay, so this is how they were elected. Then on the first meeting, 211 members were present. The first meeting was attended by 211 members. Okay, and on that days, Dr. Sachidananda became the temporary president. He was elected for that day only. Okay, in later in 11 December 1946, Rajendra Prasad became the permanent president. Permanent president. So who is the president of Constituent Assembly? The answer is Rajendra Prasad, permanent president. So if the question is about temporary president, then the answer will be Sachidananda Sinha. Okay, and S.C. Mukherjee was the vice president. Kindly remember these typical things. There may be a question, वो भी question बन सकता है. तो B.N. Rao was the constitutional advisor. ये हमेशा एक question होता है. Who was the constitutional advisor to Constituent Assembly? To Constituent Assembly. He was the constitutional advisor. He was a noted lawyer. Okay, so he became the thing. Then vice president was S.C. Mukherjee. It had 11 sessions in total. Which had? The Constituent Assembly had 11 sessions in total. Session means periodical meeting. So they did not come regularly. वो मतलब डेली सेशन नहीं बैठा था, वो कभी periodical बैठा करता था. तो 11 sessions हुआ था total. Within the 3 years, 11 sessions were held. How many sessions were held? 11 sessions. 11 sessions means periodical meeting. Periodical meeting. Are you getting my point or not? Periodical meeting. मतलब कभी कभी वो बैठते थे 3 साल में 11 बार वो सेशन किया है. Okay, so that is how it is called sessions, periodical meeting, because it did not meet regularly. Got it? So that is how the Constituent Assembly functioned. Okay, get some brief idea about it. Okay. Okay, then changes. So Constituent Assembly उसको function किया, मतलब 1946. Okay, 9 December 1946 रे Constituent Assembly started its first session, first meeting. So that means India did not get independence. Now जब भारत स्वाधीन हुआ 15th August 1947 में, तो the Constituent Assembly became India's own Constituent Assembly. मतलब we became a sovereign body. Sovereign means independent body. Independent. That means अभी ब्रिटिश नहीं है, तो इंडिया का वो Constituent Assembly बन गया. इसीलिए कहते हैं कि आफ्टर 15 अगस्त 1947 के बाद कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली एक स्वाधीन और एक सॉवरेन बॉडी के नाते एस्टैब्लिश हुआ, एवं इट परफॉर्म डुअल रोल. डुअल रोल मीन्स दैट one is one function is making the constitution. वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन तैयार करने के लिए बैठा था. नंबर 2, ए टेम्पोररी पार्लियामेंट, प्रोविजनल पार्लियामेंट, टेम्पोररी पार्लियामेंट. आफ्टर 1947 ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट का पावर चला गया, तो इसीलिए कोई भी पार्लियामेंट चाहिए इंडिया के लिए रूल बनाने के लिए या लॉ बनाने के लिए, तो क्या हुआ ना, कोई उस टाइम में पार्लियामेंट खड़ा नहीं हुआ था, मतलब पार्लियामेंट एस्टेब्लिश नहीं हुआ था. तो इसीलिए वो क्या ना, जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली चल रहा था वही कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली एक टेम्पोररी पार्लियामेंट के नाते फंक्शन किया. तो कब तक? जब तक नया पार्लियामेंट तैयार नहीं हुआ. मतलब नया पार्लियामेंट जो इंडिया का पार्लियामेंट वो 1952 में सेटअप हुआ, लोकसभा राज्यसभा. तो इसीलिए उस वक्त एक पार्लियामेंट के नाते कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली फंक्शन किया. इसको कहते हैं डुअल रोल. सो डुअल रोल का मतलब एक रोल जो मेकिंग ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के लिए, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन तैयार करने के लिए फंक्शन कर रहा था, और एक टेम्पोररी पार्लियामेंट के नाते फंक्शन कर रहा था. मतलब इंडिया के लिए कुछ नया लॉ बनेगा कि कुछ चेंज होगा, तो वो चेंज कौन करेगा? पार्लियामेंट करेगा. तो उस वक्त तो पार्लियामेंट नहीं था, इसलिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली को वो चार्ज दिया गया कि भाई तुम देखो कि कैसे लॉ बनेगा. Okay, another change that came after 15th is the member strength, that is 389 reduced to 299. Why 389 reduced to 389 299? Because Pakistan had a separate constituent assembly. Pakistan got a separate constituent assembly after independence. Hence the membership reduced to what? Reduced to 299. Okay, so 299 because Pakistan had got a separate constituent assembly after independence of India. So that is therefore membership 299 को reduce हो गया. और 299 में British India 229 and princely states का 70 रहा. उस वक्त 93 था, अभी 70 को रिड्यूस हो. और ये 289 था, अभी 229 को रिड्यूस हो गया. मतलब पाकिस्तान को जो मेंबर थे वो चले गए, उन्होंने पाकिस्तान का कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली ज्वाइन किया. इसीलिए सो देयर आर 3 इम्पैक्ट, 3 तरह की जो इन्फ्लुएंस इम्पैक्ट पड़ा जब कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली पर आफ्टर 15 अगस्त 1947. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट और नॉट? Okay, then constituent assembly, it is said कि constituent assembly, the constituent I am writing, the constituent assembly, the CA took 2 years 11 months and how many days? Yes, 18 days to complete the constitution. So this is a question often, how much time was taken. The time was taken was 2 years 11 months 18 days. Okay, and in the after this period constitution was adopted on 26th November 1949. Two dates are important for this purpose. One is 26 November. Just get me clear. November 1949 इसको क्या कहते हैं? Date of adoption or enactment of constitution. Okay. But 26 January 1950 is date of commencement. और क्या कहते हैं? इस वर्डिंग को याद रखना चाहिए, क्योंकि वर्डिंग आएगा क्वेश्चन में. हम क्वेश्चन का आंसर पता मतलब we remember the answer but we are unable to choose the option because we don't understand the wording. So try to understand different words. Date of commencement or effect, date of effect of the constitution. मतलब 26 जनवरी से कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कार्यकारी हुआ, मतलब इम्प्लीमेंट हुआ, इफेक्टिव हुआ लॉ. ओके, डेट ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इफेक्ट ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. सो 26 नवंबर is date of adoption, 26 January is 1950. Okay, ये बात है. अनदर बात है कि 26 नवंबर 1940 जो 49 में जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अडॉप्ट किया, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन उस दिन इफेक्ट नहीं हुआ था, मतलब कार्यकारी नहीं हुआ था, लेकिन सम प्रोविजंस केम इनटू इफेक्ट ऑन 26 जनवरी नवंबर. सम प्रोविजंस लाइक पार्लियामेंट का जो प्रोविजन था वो इफेक्टेड हुआ. सिटीजनशिप का जो प्रोविजन था वो इफेक्टेड हुआ. इलेक्शन. ऑल ऑफ यू आर गेटिंग माय पॉइंट और नॉट? ये जो 3 सिस्टम है, पार्लियामेंट, सिटीजनशिप, इलेक्शन, वो 26 जनवरी के दिन कम इनटू इफेक्ट. रेस्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन केम इनटू इफेक्ट ऑन 26 जनवरी 1950. और जो बाकी प्रोविजन था, बहुत सारा प्रोविजन था, वो 26 जनवरी को 1950 को कार्यकारी हुआ. इसलिए हम इसको कहते हैं कमेंसमेंट डे. लेकिन 26 नवंबर में भी 26 नवंबर में भी कुछ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का कुछ प्रोविजन कार्यकारी हुआ था. ओके, सो दैट इज देयरफॉर यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दैट what were the provisions that came into effect on 26 November. Are you getting my point or not? Okay, so these are the things you have to remember. These are the things to remember for your exam. On which date constitution was adopted, on which date constitution came into effect, and what were the provisions immediately came into effect after the adoption of the constitution, that is parliament, citizenship, election. बाकी सब ये हुआ था. Okay, that is a बात. Another बात, why 26 January was chosen as the commencement day. Why 26 January? Why 26 January was chosen as the date of commencement of constitution, commencement of the constitution. That is because on this day the national flag, India's national flag was hoisted on the bank of river Rrb in 1930 by INC. All of you are getting my point or not? So to commemorate though, इसको याद रखने के लिए 26 जनवरी को चुना गया डेट ऑफ कमेंसमेंट के लिए. एंड यू नो 26 जनवरी 1930 में जो फ्लैग हॉइस्ट हुआ था, इसके पहले से लाहौर सेशन 1929 में कंप्लीट इंडिपेंडेंस का जो रिजोल्यूशन अडॉप्ट हुआ था, कंप्लीट रिजोल्यूशन, पूर्ण स्वाधीनता की जो घोषणा और रिजोल्यूशन अडॉप्ट हुआ था. देन बाद में 1930 जनवरी 26 रावी नदी के पर ये नेशनल फ्लैग हाइस्ट हुआ था. इसलिए टू कमेमोरेट द डे, the 26 January is chosen. 26 January is chosen as the date of constitution effect. Okay, that is the things you have to remember. Got it? Now the constitution जब बना, जब तैयार हुआ, तो इसके लिए बहुत सारा कमिटी बनाया गया था. I have brought some committee for you for your remembrance. Sometimes a question comes, who was the chairman of which committee and what. Okay, so I have given the list. You will get some from books also, but for your reference I have brought. जो यूनियन कमिटी था, जो यूनियन कमिटी सब था, इसमें चेयरमैन जवाहरलाल नेहरू थे. सारी का सारी यूनियन कमिटी, यूनियन पावर कमिटी, यूनियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कमिटी, और जवाहरलाल नेहरू और एक में भी थे स्टेट्स कमिटी. Okay, so that is Jawaharlal Nehru. Then provincial में सरदार पटेल. Okay, because he played a very important role in the integration of princely states. Hence he is called Iron Man of India. Why Sardar Patel is called Iron Man of India? Because उन्होंने जो प्रिंसली स्टेट था, सब प्रिंसली स्टेट को भारत के साथ मिलाने के लिए, मतलब मर्ज करने के लिए कोशिश किए थे. वो सरदार पटेल, बीपी मेनन, उड़ीसा का डॉक्टर हरे कृष्ण महताब, उन लोग सब मिलके प्रिंसली स्टेट जो थे उनको शामिल किया था भारत में. इसीलिए सरदार पटेल को आयरन मैन ऑफ इंडिया कहा जाता है, बिकॉज ऑफ हिज हार्ड एफर्ट ही पुट फॉर इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ प्रिंसली स्टेट्स विथ इंडिया आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट और नॉट? These are the things you have to remember. Okay, these are question oriented in our NTPC and CPSE examinations. You will find. Okay, then drafting committee or major committee था B.R. Ambedkar, steering committee Rajendra Prasad. Okay, these things you have to remember. Then we shall see what is drafting committee. Okay, then committee on procedure, rules and procedure Rajendra Prasad. Okay, finance staff committee is not important. Credential committee, minority subcommittee, ad hoc committee, yes, it is important, exam oriented. Ad hoc committee on national flag, Rajendra Prasad. Then Constituent Assembly functions of Constituent GB Mavalangar, the first speaker of Lok Sabha. This committee is also important. Advisory committee on fundamental rights, Sardar Patel. Sardar Patel दो committee का था, provincial committee and advisory committee on fundamental. Then fundamental rights sub committee का जबी कृपलानी, ये भी एक question हो रहा है. Okay. Then Gopinath Bardoli from Assam, he was from northeast frontier tribal areas committee subcommittee जो तैयार हुआ था. Okay, these things you have to remember. So kindly note these things and try to mug up it. Then other functions of constitution. Other function means that apart from making constitution, apart from making constitutions of India, what were the other functions? What were the other functions? In the Constituent Assembly, national flag was adopted on 22nd July 1940, that is 7. So who designed the national flag? Pingali Venkaya. Pingali Venkaya. Are you getting my point or not? Pingali Venkaya. So that was national flag was adopted on this day. So national anthem was adopted on 24th January 1950, and the first stanza of, I'm writing everything, kindly take a note if you don't have the idea, otherwise it's alright. The first stanza of Jana Gana Mana was adopted as national anthem of India. National anthem of India. Okay, kindly take a note. First stanza of the national 1950. Okay, that is the things. Now national song 24th January. We be 24th January 1950 में. And national song was that is Vande Mataram was written by Bankim Chandra, and Vande Mataram from Bankim Chandra's novel. Bankim Chandra's, what is the name of the novel? Novel Anand Math. From this novel, Vande Mataram song was adopted, and Vande Mataram became popular during which movement? Vande Mataram became famous during which movement? Okay, Vande Mataram, I'm writing it. Vande Mataram became nationwide famous during which movement? During Swadeshi movement. So this is also a question. Swadeshi movement. Okay, so it was led in India in the early decade of 20th century. Swadeshi movement. Vande Mataram. So that was adopted on 24th January 1950. I have written. Okay. Then President was declared also 24th January 1950. So three things were taken place. Okay. That was he became the first president of drafting the president of India. Then some things about drafting committee of India. Drafting committee was an important committee. It before responsibility of drafting the committee, writing the constitution. It was constituted on 24th January 1947. What? Drafting committee was constituted. Then the committee was chaired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Hence, B.R. Ambedkar is called the father of Indian Constitution. He had a lot of contribution. Therefore, he is called one of the founding fathers of Indian Constitution. Okay. Other prominent members of drafting member committee were N. Gopal Swami Iyengar, Alladi Krishna Swami Iyer, K. Munshi, Said Muhammad Sadullah. Okay. Then Madhav Rao, D.P. Kaitan. Okay. So remember these things, drafting committee. There is the things. Okay. And another thing is that the famous calligrapher प्रेम नारायण कैलीग्राफर मतलब जो ब्यूटीफुल हैंडराइटिंग जो उसका होता है कैलीग्राफर प्रेम नारायण रायजदा wrote calligraphed the text of the new constitution of the constitution. उन्होंने हाथ में कैलीग्राफ किए थे, बहुत सुंदर तरह की लिखे थे, इसीलिए उसको अभी प्रिजर्व किया गया पार्लियामेंट में. सो हु वाज द कैलीग्राफर? प्रेम नारायण रायचंद्र. Okay, kindly remember this. This is often is a question also. So remember. Okay, now this is all about your Constituent Assembly. Okay, so brief outline of the things. Then we shall move to the questions. Multiple choice questions. Okay, multiple choice questions. Okay, nobody has any doubt, or is this clear to all of you? Okay, is this clear to all of you? Now we'll get the questions, multiple choice questions. Okay, the idea of constitution was first mooted by, what is the answer? Yes, what will be the answer to your question, to this question? Okay, that is M.N. Roy. That is already discussed. M.N. Roy, Manavendranath Roy, the founding father of Communist Party of India. M.N. Roy. So answer is A. The first meeting of the Constituent Assembly was held on, that is 9 December. So 9 December A. And why 22nd January is important? Why 26 January is important? Why 26 January is important for assembly? Because on this day the objective resolution drafted by Jawaharlal Nehru, J. Nehru, was adopted by the Constituent Assembly. On this day ऑब्जेक्टिव रिजोल्यूशन जो नेहरू ने लिखे थे, वही नेहरू का ऑब्जेक्टिव रिजोल्यूशन उस दिन क्या हुआ, मतलब अडॉप्ट हुआ. Okay, so objective resolution drafted by Nehru was adopted by the Constituent Assembly उस दिन. Okay, then the members of the Constituent Assembly were, that is, what was were both elected and nominated. Both elected and nominated. So that is C. So that is C. Okay, so that is C. Elected and nominated. Elected from British India. and nominated from princely states. Okay. Now we'll move to the next question. Question number 4. How many members did Odisha have in the Constituent Assembly? That I forgot to tell you that Odisha had 9 members. Also United Province, जिसको उत्तर प्रदेश कहते हैं, United Province had largest number of members in the Constituent Assembly. Largest number, United Province, जिसको हम उत्तर प्रदेश कहते हैं, उत्तर प्रदेश. So it is also a question, which province had the largest number? Obviously Uttar Pradesh. Odisha had 9 seats. Okay, then original, so answer is D. The original strength of the original means first, so 389 D. Later, after independence, it became 399. Indian national flag was adopted on 22nd July 19, that is B. Bengali Venkaya designed. The constituent came into force on, so very easy questions, just I am skipping over it. A. That is C. So C, not E. That is C. Okay. So that is C. 23 January 1950. Okay, so that is the answer. Now we shall move to the next question. Number 8. Time taken to complete Indian Constitution. Time taken to complete Indian Constitution, that is B. Who among the following pairs were not members of the Constituent Assembly? Okay, that is, ये दोनों नहीं थे, N.K. Gandhi and मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना, वो दोनों Constituent Assembly में नहीं थे. Reason is best known to the historians, not mentioned, but still they were not present. They were not present in the Constituent Assembly. N.K. Gandhi and मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना, ये दोनों नहीं थे, बाकी सब थे. Okay, so BA. Now 10, question number 10. So जब Constituent Assembly फंक्शन हुआ था, तो हमने कहने के लिए आपको भूल गया कि how many schedules were there at the time of adoption. At the time of, I am writing here, at the time of adoption, the Constituent Assembly, the Indian Constitution, had 395 articles, 8 schedules, and that you call 22 parts. Okay, 395 articles, 8 schedules, 22 parts. At the time of adoption, मतलब जो origin, जो in 1950, these were the things. So that is 8 schedules. बाकी सब जो 4 schedule बाद में ऐड हुआ है, और वो सब पार्ट कौन सी अमेंडमेंट में ऐड हुआ है उसको हम डिस्कस करेंगे. Don't worry about that. Okay, so that is 8 schedules. Objective resolution was passed by the Constituent Assembly on 26 January 1947. That is the answer. A. So answer is, that is C, that is A. Okay. Then match the following. Union Power Committee was chaired by 1. So A is 1. Steering Committee Rajendra Prasad 2. Drafting Committee 3. Advisory Committee Sardar Patel, that is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Answer is A. Answer is A. Got it? Union Power Committee, सब यूनियन जो सब कमिटी जिसके पहले से यूनियन है उसका चेयरमैन जवाहरलाल नेहरू है. तो स्टीयरिंग कमिटी इंपॉर्टेंट कमिटी था, मतलब इंपॉर्टेंट रिगार्डिंग द फंक्शनिंग ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली, डिसीजन ले जा रहा था, तो उसका चेयरमैन राजेंद्र प्रसाद थे. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट और नॉट? ओके, एनीबडी, any doubt you can post here, write something. Okay. Thirteen. Adoption of preamble. Adoption of preamble. इसको preamble जो नाम था उसका, that is known as objective resolution. तो उसको अडॉप्ट कब किया था? दैट इज 1. सो ए. 24 जनवरी adoption of national protest. B. 22nd January एक objective resolution was adopted. C. Setting of drafting committee. D. तो A B C D 1 2 3 4. That is also the answer is A. Okay. Fourteen. Which among the following is not correct? In the first meeting of Constituent Assembly, members attended was 211. That is correct. Total expenditure was 64 lakh. It is estimated, mentioned in various books. Yes, it is correct. The Constituent Assembly was party elected, party nominated. Yes. So this is the wrong answer. So what is wrong here? Held its final meeting on 24th January 1950. Hence it is answer D. Who among the following became the constitutional advisor to the Constituent Assembly? That is B N Rao. B N Rao, B. Noted lawyer. B N Rao was the constitutional advisor to the Constituent Assembly. Okay. Then question number 16. How many members signed the Constitution on the date of adoption? What is the date of adoption? What is the date of adoption? Yes. What is the date of adoption of the Constitution? Okay, that is on 26 November 1949. That is 284. So answer is B. पहले था 211, लास्ट जो असेंबली हुआ मतलब अडॉप्शन हुआ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन उस दिन बी मतलब बी का जो था बी 284. Who chaired the advisory committee on fundamental rights in the Constituent Assembly? Advisory committee, not subcommittee. So that is Sardar Patel. If it is subcommittee, then answer will be J.B. Kriparini. Okay, J.B. Kriparini is the will be answer. But here B. Then, which among the following provinces had largest number of seats in the Constituent Assembly? United Province. अभी जो सेंट्रल प्रोविंस है उसको मध्य प्रदेश कहते हैं. मद्रास अभी 3 स्टेट हो गया है, आंध्र, तमिलनाडु, तेलंगाना. बॉम्बे अभी 2 का है, गुजरात और महाराष्ट्र. सो उस टाइम में उनको बॉम्बे सेंट्रल प्रोविंस कहा जाता था. सो आंसर इज सी. ओके, सो 249, 284. Okay, so these are the things you have to remember. Constituent Assembly. Then last part of the questions. Who among the following? Who among the following okay? So that is the things about, sorry. So who among the following was the chairman of drafting committee? So that is important. Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, B.R. Ambedkar. That is B. And the Constituent Assembly finally met on 24 January. That is C. Okay, so this is the question all about your making of the Constitution. We shall now begin with the salient feature of Indian Constitution. Salient features. Okay, so we shall begin with the salient features of Indian Constitution. Okay, so that we have to that is we shall begin with salient features of Indian Constitution. Okay, that is salient features of Indian Constitution. Okay, we'll briefly हमने बहुत briefly discuss करेंगे. Okay, because that you are beginners in polity, so we shall begin the things briefly. Exam oriented, जो सब exam के लिए oriented होगा, मतलब important होगा, इसको हम discuss करेंगे, बाद में देखेंगे. Okay, so that is salient features of the Indian Constitution. Okay, in salient features means most vital features of Indian Constitution. Most vital features जो होते हैं, जो important provisions होते हैं, उसके लिए हम देखेंगे. So हम briefly जाएंगे. Okay, मतलब vital, salient means vital features of Indian Constitution, most important. One is lengthiest. First salient feature is lengthiest Constitution, lengthiest written Constitution. Okay, if you see in 1950 we had 395 articles, 8 schedules, and your 22 parts. But in 2020, if you examine, there are about 465 articles, more than 465 articles, 12 schedules, and 25 parts. About 465 article अभी बढ़ गया, 12 schedules हो गया, 25 parts after this. Apart from this, there are also that is you can say that suppose that is you can say there were now about that is 104 amendments. 104 amendments so far. Okay, so no other constitution in the world is as large as Indian constitution. Okay, you can conclude it. Okay, so no other constitution in the world is as large as Indian constitution. Okay, so no other constitution in the world is as large as Indian constitution. So many articles, so many parts, so many schedules. Okay, therefore it is very important constitution of the world, longest written constitution in the world, that you have to remember. Then next provision is number 2, provision for parliamentary government. Parliamentary government का मतलब क्या होता है? Parliamentary government, there are two types of government. One is parliamentary and another is presidential. In parliamentary government, in parliamentary government, the executive, मतलब जो सरकार होते हैं, active government, executive, ये चीज को हमको याद रखना चाहिए, is responsible to, बहुत important अच्छी, responsible to the legislature. So बहुत समय क्वेश्चन आसे कि व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ पार्लियामेंटरी गवर्नमेंट. पार्लियामेंटरी गवर्नमेंट मतलब एग्जीक्यूटिव, जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर और जो काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर, दे आर रेस्पॉन्सिबल टू द लेजिस्लेचर, मतलब दे आर द मेंबर्स ऑफ पार्लियामेंट. जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर और मिनिस्टर, दे आर मेंबर्स ऑफ लोकसभा, राज्यसभा. So they go to parliament and they are responsible to it. Okay, if parliament can pass a no confidence motion, the government will be dissolved. So that is called executive is responsible to the legislature. अगर parliament को एक no confidence अनास्था प्रस्ताव अगर मतलब पास कर देगा तो government breakdown हो जाएगा, मतलब government चला जाएगा. So that is called provisional parliamentary government. In executive is responsible to the legislature. Okay, another thing is parliament is bicameral. Bicameral मतलब two houses, Lok Sabha और राज्य सभा. Are you getting my point or not? तो पार्लियामेंट इज बाइकैमरल, मतलब दो सदन का दुईटा हाउस रोचे हमरो, उडेला लोकसभा और उडेला राज्यसभा. पार्लियामेंट इज ऑलवेज बाइकैमरल. So that is the things. Who can say that bicameralism was introduced in which act? Anyone can answer? Who said in which act parliament became, or bicameralism was introduced in India during British time? During British time, bicameralism was introduced under which act? Anybody? Yes, those who are watching, only very few people are watching. Yes, not interesting. Polity is not an interesting chapter for you. Anyway, anyone can say out of those who are watching, when was bicameralism introduced in India? Okay, answer me. I'm waiting. Okay, so that is provision of parliament. Then we shall go to, we are so briefly going, partly rigid, partly flexible. Partly rigid, partly flexible. So इसका मतलब क्या होता है? It refers to amendment of the constitution. Amendment to the constitution. Partly rigid. Rigid मतलब, rigid means if the constitution is difficult to amend or hard to amend, it is called rigid constitution. Just I'm explaining, okay? If the constitution is easy to amend, it is called flexible constitution. So वर्ल्ड में रिजिड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन किसको कहते हैं? So that is that is American constitution, USA constitution, and here flexible UK constitution or any other constitution you can take. अनरिटन होने से क्या होता है, मतलब वो फ्लेक्सिबल है, जब चाहे पार्लियामेंट बदला सकता है. So that is UK constitution is flexible, but Indian constitution is both rigid and flexible. इसका मतलब क्या है, थोड़ा देखते हैं. ओके, क्या फ्लेक्सिबल है, डिफिकल्ट क्या ना. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया, that is constitution of India can be amended. मतलब क्या होता है, amended by number 1 simple majority, number 2 special majority. थोड़ा ध्यान दीजिए, मतलब ओके, ठीक से टिके देख, भलवार टिके बुझ, टिके ओके, भलवार बुझिले लाइफ लॉन्ग जिनसटा मन रहिबो, जोटी ना जोटी कोटुरे दरकार हबो पॉलिटी रो पाठ, बिकॉज़ वी आर लिविंग इन ए कंट्री, डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री, तेनो हमरो एसब ऊपर टिके आइडिया रहिबा दरकार. ओके, एज ए बोनाफाइड सिटीजन ऑफ द कंट्री वी शुड हैव some basic knowledge about Indian polity. So this course is not only helpful for your examination but also helpful for leading a organized citizen's life or a very knowledgeable or responsible citizen's life. So kindly watch this and try to understand. Okay, by special majority, number 3, by special majority with approval from at least half of the states. So ये 3 तरीके से, मतलब तीनोटी उपाय रे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अमेंड हो पारे. सिंपल मेजॉरिटी माने कोन, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ मेंबर्स प्रेजेंट एंड वोटिंग. जिते भी मेंबर थिबे, जिते भी संविधान ने जो दिन धर गोटे बिल आसिला, तो जिते भी सदस्य थिबे 200 थांतु 300 थांतु एबव कोरम माने 1/10 मेंबर टू अधिक थिबा दरकार. तो सेते बेले सिंपल मेजॉरिटी आसीबो. सर सपोज 200 मेंबर अछन, त 200 डिवाइडेड बाय 2 + 1 माने 101 वोट देले बिल टा पास हो जिवो. दैट इज सिंपल मेजॉरिटी. स्पेशल मेजॉरिटी मींस नियरली 2/3. मतलब धर लोकसभा रो 545 into 2/3, इतने सारी वोट चाहिए. तो ज्यादा वोट मतलब अधिका मेंबर रो सपोर्ट दरकार होतिबारु ताको स्पेशल मेजॉरिटी कहते. अधिका मेंबर आउ किछ नहीं, ज्यादा मेंबर का सपोर्ट चाहिए, इसलिए इसको स्पेशल मेजॉरिटी कहते हैं. और कुछ प्रोविजन है जो स्पेशल मेजॉरिटी में पास होगा पार्लियामेंट में, बाद में हाफ ऑफ द स्टेट्स अप्रूवल चाहिए. ऐसा कुछ प्रोविजन है, मतलब जीएसटी जैसा 101 अमेंडमेंट यू कैन टेक, 10 अमेंडमेंट जीएसटी अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 2016 उस अप्रूव हुआ 2016 में comes under this, or we can say that 103 amendments 2019 okay comes under this 103. बाकी सिंपल मेजोरिटी में सब कोई आता है, मतलब जे एंड के रिऑर्गेनाइजेशन एक्ट कभी भी हमेशा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अमेंड होते हैं. सिटीजनशिप का हो सिटीजनशिप एक्ट 2019, जम्मू कश्मीर रिऑर्गेनाइजेशन एक्ट 2019, वो सब एक्ट कौन सा मेजोरिटी में पास हुआ है? सिंपल मेजोरिटी में. तो सिंपल मेजोरिटी में ज्यादा की ज्यादा चेंज हो सकता है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में, लेकिन जो मतलब ये जो होता है क्या, मतलब जो यू कैन से that is you can say that when मेजोरिटी फंडामेंटल राइट्स डीपीएसपी ये सब स्पेशल मेजोरिटी में होता है. ओके, so when constitution is amended by simple majority, it is called flexible. Okay, so that is called flexible constitution, flexible. and ये जो दो तरह की होता है ये rigid. Hence constitution को rigid and flexible कहते हैं. Okay, got it? Hence constitution को flexible and rigid कहते हैं. Both rigid and flexible features होता है. and ये जो दोनों तरह की जो होता है, दोनों तरह के amendment होता है, ये down under article 368 amendment provisions of the constitution. कौन सा पार्ट में amendment provision है? Okay, कौन सा पार्ट में? 20. Okay, so 20 is about amendment XX part what XX, so that is simple. special majority 368 में आता है, simple majority 368 में अंदर में नहीं आता है. Okay, so that is the things you have to keep in mind sometimes. Okay, don't be bothered. And how many times constitution has been amended so far? Okay, how many times the constitution of India has been amended so far? Has been amended so far? How many times? You can answer. Nobody is answering. Anyway, so that is 104 times. 104 times. That means what is 104 Amendment Act? 104 Amendment Act 2020. That is extension of reservation. I am writing extension of reservation for SC and ST in Parliament and in Lok Sabha and state legislatures till 2030. 104 amendment and abolition of provision of nomination of Anglo-Indian members. जो 331 में था उसको अबोलिश कर दिया है. तो 104 टाइम्स अमेंडमेंट हुआ है, लास्ट अमेंडमेंट ऐसा हुआ है. ओके, so these are the things you have to remember. Okay, let's move to the next point. Republic state. What is the meaning of republic? Republic का मतलब क्या होता है? That is head of the state is elected. Who is the head of the state in India? That is president. So president is elected, hence India is called a republic. Okay, India is called republic because Rashtrapati nirbachita hoti. So that is called Sadharanatantra. But UK is not a republic state because the head is not elected, rather hereditary. So republic means that is head of the state is elected. Okay, in UK, the head of the state, that is the king or queen, is hereditary. Hence, UK is not a republic. Okay, and India is a republic because the president, that is head of the state, is elected indirectly, hence India is called a republic. और एक मीनिंग भी है कि लोगों ने डायरेक्ट अपना रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को चुनते हैं, लोग भोट देकी इलेक्शन रे रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को पठांदी, सेतिपई भी भारत को गोटे रिपब्लिकन स्टेट रो आख्या दिया जाय, रिपब्लिकन स्टेट. ओके, इंडिया बिकेम a republic on 26 January 1950. Okay, kindly remember this. Okay, India became a republic on, that is republican state. Okay, now we shall move to the next point. Federal state with unitary bias. What is a federal state or federation? Federal state or फेडरेशन क्या होता है? फेडरेशन कहले हमें कौन बुझिबा? What is federation? Federation means a country which has the following features. It's called a federation. जो देश रे एई सब फीचर गुरा थिबो ताको फेडरेशन को आजिबो. फॉर एग्जांपल two governments means central government, central and state government. Yes, India has. Number 2, written constitution. Number 3, independent judiciary. Number 4, separation of power. इंडिया में 2 गवर्नमेंट है, रिटर्न कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, इंडिपेंडेंट भी जो होता है जुडिशरी है, लेकिन स्टेट का कोई स्वतंत्र सुप्रीम कोर्ट नहीं है अमेरिका की तरह. अमेरिका जमी स्टेट मानकर सुप्रीम कोर्ट अच्छी, इंडिया रे नहीं. सो इंडिया इज ए फेडरेशन बट विथ यूनिटरी बायस. मतलब क्या होता है ना, यूनिटरी बायस मीन्स इंडिया इज रादर, unitary bias means that is unitary features of Indian constitution. unitary features of Indian Constitution. One is single citizenship. Single citizenship. So that is in a federation there is a dual citizenship. Okay, number two, that is single citizenship. That is most thing, and during emergency and other times, parliament is entitled to make laws on state list. जो राज्य की राज्य तालिका जोटा अच्छी तापरे पार्लियामेंट लॉ करि परिबो इमरजेंसी समय रे अलगा समय रे. Okay, so that is also. Then number 3, integrated judiciary. गोटे one state integrated judiciary, one nation, one judicial system. But in America there are dual judicial systems, state judicial system, central judicial system. Are you getting my point on that? That is unitary features. तो भारत संविधान में आज इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, आई एम राइटिंग as Indian Constitution contains provisions or features of both of a federation, federal state and unitary form of government. It is rightly called a quasi federal country. Quasi federal, that is what we call federal state with unitary bias. Okay, that is called, it is said by it will be question हुए, it is said by Casey Ware. Okay, Casey Ware. So sometimes a question comes, who describes Indian federal constitution as a federal state with unitary bias. Okay, that is how it is where quasi-federal. India is rightly called a quasi-federal, not a class. The next thing. Okay, now the next thing. Although I am writing is a quasi-federal, it provides for single citizenship, not dual citizenship. Dual citizenship means central federal citizenship. Dual citizenship means central federal citizenship. Federal citizenship in America, it is found in USA. USA में एक राज्य का सिटीजनशिप होती है, मतलब कैलिफोर्निया एक स्टेट यूएसए रे अछि, कैलिफोर्निया, लॉस एंजल्स. ओके, पहले एक वाशिंगटन का नागरिक होता है, बाद में जब राज्य की बाहर जाएंगे तो यूएसए का कार्ड, सिटीजनशिप कार्ड प्रोड्यूस करना पड़ता है. ओके, so that is called dual citizenship, but in India that is single citizenship. Okay, then this is mentioned in part 2, that is 5 to 11 articles, part 2. Okay, that is also single citizen. Then special provision for certain classes in part 16. In part there are provisions for SC, ST, OBC, etc. That is therefore is a unique provision of the constitution. Okay, part 16 में आप देखेंगे कि SC के लिए स्पेशल प्रोविजन, ST, OBC. Okay, the National Commission for Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe, these are mentioned in this part. Okay, 338, 338A, 338B जो भारत में है, जो अच्छी हमारा नेशनल कमीशन फॉर शेड्यूल कास्ट, नेशनल कमीशन फॉर शेड्यूल ट्राइब, नेशनल कमीशन फॉर बैकवर्ड क्लासेस एंड ताको पे आउ कोन करा जाय परिबो रिजर्वेशन, ऑल दिस थिंग्स आर मेंशनड इन दिस पार्ट. सो एमती को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इन द वर्ल्ड रे नाही जार गोटे एमती पार्ट अछि जे कि गोटे स्पेसिफिकली किछि लोकन को पई डील करूछि, स्पेशल प्रोविजंस फॉर the disadvantaged section of the society. Okay, therefore it is a salient feature of Indian constitution. Okay, then we shall move to the next part, integrated and independent judiciary. Judiciary is integrated because because there is a hierarchy or chain of courts in India. That means there is a higher court, lower court. So first is, then we have high courts. How many high courts are there? 25. Okay, or subordinate courts, district courts. So that is called integrated judiciary. This structure are called integrated judiciary. And independent means they are independent from executive. सरकार से, लेजिस्लेचर से इंडिपेंडेंट है. वो कैसे इंडिपेंडेंट है, हम जब जुडिशियरी देखेंगे तब हम पता लगाएंगे कि भारत जुडिशियरी भारत जो न्यायपालिका जो व्यवस्था अच्छी से केमती सरकार टू स्वाधीन केतोळे हम देखिबा. वर्तमान पे एतिकी मन रख जे भारत न्यायपालिका जुडिशियरी संगठित एवं स्वाधीन, integrated and independent. Okay, we shall discuss. Then that is independent bodies. There are independent bodies like and Auditor General of India, then Election Commission of India. There is सरकार आंक उपरे सरकार कंट्रोल नियंत्रित. सरकार मतलब सरकार जो आंक उपरे प्रेशर कंट्रोल करिवो नियंत्रित, माने स्वाधीन भाव में काम करि परिबे, माने सरकार विरुद्ध रे भी कहि परिबे, सरकार विभिन्न लैप्सेस ऊपर कहि परिबे. तो सेति पई तांकू इंडिपेंडेंट कराइछ. इलेक्शन कमिशन ऑफ इंडिया. The number 4 UPSC, यूनियन पब्लिक सर्विस कमिशन. आउडी कथा एटी मन रख जे ये चार जन को का कंट्रोलर, ऑडिटर जनरल, इलेक्शन कमिशन, यूपीएससी एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट एमान को देयर इज 4 पिलर्स ऑफ गवर्नमेंट को जाय बा बलवर्क्स ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, बलवर्क्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. ये चार जन को these four are called bulwarks of Indian Constitution. कागु ए चार जन को bulwarks of Indian एटा क्वेश्चन भी अछि. ओके एटा क्वेश्चन अछि बेले मु कहूची कि which among the following is not a bulwark of Indian Constitution. Bulwark माने को जेटा प्रोटेक्ट करे पिलर. Pillars of bulwarks means pillars. So चार जन ले 1 2 3 4 the 4 pillars of constitution. The 4 pillars of constitution. ताको भी बेले बेले कहती bulwarks of Indian Constitution. Okay, एटा डी मन रख independent bodies गुरा बहुत अछंती भारत रे. So these are examples of independent bodies. They function independently the executive and the legislature. Okay. Now we shall move to the next chapter. Are you answered the question? Anyway, let us move. Fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are lifeline of democracy. They are basic human rights, maulik rights. There are mentioned in part 3 article 12 to 35. Okay, there these rights are justiciable or enforceable. Justiciable or enforceable. Okay, and there are justiciable and enforceable. That is the things you have to remember. Okay. Okay. Now there are 6 fundamental rights. What are they? Right to equality. Just I am writing because आमे बारंबार practice कले एटा मन रहिबो. Fundamental right पढ़ला बेले भी आमे देखिबा. यदि मने रखिछो भलो कथा, न मन रखले टिके ताको मन रखिया पई चेष्टा कर. Right to freedom. Okay, then number 3, right against exploitation. Number 4, the right to freedom of religion, but religious freedom of religion. Number 5, cultural and educational rights. Number 6, the right to constitutional remedies. तो ये 6 तरह की 6 प्रकार फंडामेंटल राइट आम रखिए. जानथिबो तुमे, जदि न जानथिबो त ताकि मन रख. एटा होची आर्टिकल 14 to 18. एटा आर्टिकल 19 to 20, that is 2. एटा 23 to 24. एटा 25 to 28. एटा 29 30. एटा 32. Okay. Okay, pilane. So these are the fundamental rights. But another thing kona, originally means originally, that is in 1950 we had 7 fundamental rights. But in 1978, right to hold property was abolished by 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978 during the Prime Ministership of Mr. Morarji Desai. Okay. So it's streaming very much. Okay. So that is fundamental rights. We shall discuss them in the respective classes. Okay. Don't worry about that. Then fundamental duties. Fundamental duties. Fundamental duties was added. Contained in Part IBA Article 51A, added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. Originally 10 fundamental fundamental duty. At present 11 fundamental duties. The 11th fundamental duties was added by 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002 PM A.B. Bajpayee. Okay. So these are the things you have to remember about fundamental duties. But these duties are not enforceable. These are called the fundamental duties. Okay. Now, directive principle of state policy, DPSP, or shortly known as DPSP. Okay, inspired by Irish Constitution. Fundamental right is inspired by USA Constitution. Please take a note of that. Fundamental rights. So inspired by Irish Constitution. मतलब आयरिश कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से लाया गया है. कंटेंड इन कौन सा पार्ट में है? कंटेंड इन पार्ट IB आर्टिकल 36 through 51 is not these rights are not justiciable. Okay. So that is the things. Now, fundamental rights. এটা भी एग्जाम पे important अछि. Fundamental rights promote political democracy, DPSPs promote social and economic democracy rights जाको जेमती क्वेश्चन पढ़ो ये पदार्थी और DPSP promote which rights ताले चुना democracy social and economic rights हबो no democracy जितनी वो democracy हबो don't be confused with the option. Okay, so these are the things about DPSP, and fundamental duties are inspired by Russian constitution. Okay, you have to remember. Okay, independent bodies we have discussed, it is repeated. So we shall move to the next slide. Three tier government. Three tier government का मतलब जो मतलब central government, central government, state government, and we have local self government, local self government. So that is Panchayat Raj. So 1, 2, 3. That is called three tier government. Okay, three tier government. Three tier government. Okay, so central government, we have three types of government: local government, central government, state government. Although local government is not fully developed, but still it is a characteristic of Indian Constitution. Then universal adult suffrage means all adults attaining the age of 18 are eligible to vote. Mentioned in by contained in Article 326. Okay, 326 में part XB, part XB 15. Okay, so that is universal adult, and this age 18 was reduced by 61st Amendment 1988 और 89 भी डेट ऑफ इफेक्ट कहते हैं. सो 89 होगा नहीं 88 होगा, डोंट कंफ्यूज. 61st अमेंडमेंट 1988 और 89 भी कभी कभी ऑप्शन में आता है. अगर 89 है तो 88 नहीं रहेगा. सो दैट इज 88. सो यूनिवर्सल अडल्ट सफरेज, दिस मीन्स ऑल कैन वोट. एंड यू आर नॉट आंसरिंग माय क्वेश्चन. ओके, एनीवे, बट डायरेक्ट इलेक्शन को एक्ट रे इंट्रोड्यूस होइतला इंडिया रे. British समोरे direct election. Yesterday last class we had discussed. Okay, last class nobody is responding. Okay, anyway, are you getting something from this class? No answer today, no answer. Okay, secular state. Secular state means there is no state religion. मतलब गवर्नमेंट कौन सी रिलीजन को सपोर्ट करी. That is, there is no state religion. All religions have equal status. No one, but no citizen, you can write it, no citizen can be discriminated. No citizen can be discriminated on the basis of, that is, religion. On the basis of religion. Got it? So secular provision part, fundamental rights 25 to 28 articles. Article 326, Article 14, 15, 16, 17, 25, 28, 28, 29b, 28, 29, 30. So these are all secular provisions. India is a secular country. Okay, so secularism means dharma nirapeksha. भारत एक धर्म निरपेक्ष राष्ट्र बिकज राष्ट्र कौन धर्म नहीं कौन सबू धर्मर स्टाटस सबू धर्मर पोजिशन एका एवं कौन सिटीजन को धर्म बेसिस रे पातर अंतर बा डिस्क्रिमिनेट करा जाई परिबनी. सो दिस आर कॉल्ड सेकुलर स्टेट. एवं भारतीय संविधान एक धर्मनिरपेक्षता को पृष्ठपोषक एवं संविधान रे द वर्ड सेकुलर, ओके, द वर्ड सेकुलर, the word secular was added to the constitution by 42nd Amendment Act 1976. जति दरकार हमरो बिकॉज हमें जो परीक्षा दौचे से परीक्षा पाई कौन कौन उपयोगी यूजफुल हो परिबो ता ऊपर अधिका फोकस करिबा दरकार. पॉलिटी इज एक्सटेंसिव सब्जेक्ट. बहुत सारा हमरो आईएएस और ओएस एग्जामिनेशन रे पॉलिटी विषय आउरी अधिक ज्ञान दरकार बा बहुत अधिक कवरेज दरकार. बट आम पई जति दरकार हम सेति जानिबा प्रथम भीत हैला. तो से वर्ड सेकुलर टा प्रिएम्बल रे नथला. प्रिएम्बल, ओके, एडेड टू द प्रिएम्बल बा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. ठीक है, प्रिएम्बल, प्रिएम्बल प्रिएम्बल रे ऐड करा वाला हैला. मतलब बंद कर बंद कर मीटिंग रे ऐड कर मीटिंग पॉइंट साइड मिनिस्ट्री एडी ने okay. So that is 76. Then universal adult suffrage ये तो हमने डिस्कस किया है. यूनिवर्सल adult suffrage के बारे में दोनों बहुत रिपीट हो जाता है यार. ओके, एनीवे, okay. So that is universal adult suffrage now drawn from different sources. आज कुछ देख लेंगे, बाद में कल कंप्लीट करेंगे नेक्स्ट क्लास में. ओके. So drawn from different sources means that the provisions of Indian Constitution have been derived from various other constitutions of the then world माने सेतबेले वर्ल्ड रो बा सेतबेले पृथ्वी रे जो संविधान सब थिला सब देश रे तांकोटू आछि सेटा कहूची ड्रॉन फ्रॉम डिफरेंट सोर्सेस ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हला तार तो भारत रो संविधान नथिला तेनु आमे जितेबेले गोटे संविधान गढ़िले संविधान तैयारी कले विभिन्न संविधान रु विभिन्न गुरुत्वपूर्ण बा हमर जो यूजफुल प्रोविजन गुरा सेटु सब आनिले सेति पय ताकू आमे गोटे सेगमेंट करिचे कि ड्रॉन फ्रॉम डिफरेंट सोर्सेस को प्रोविजन को सोर्स रु आनिले सेटा बहुत समय रे हमर परीक्षा रे एग्जाम रे बेसी पचारे कि which provision has been borrowed from which sources. Okay, that is called provisions of Indian Constitution have been derived from various other constitutions of the then world, means the then world. So major jinsh hochi the Government of India Act a major source of Indian Constitution. Major source of Indian Constitution. Major source of Indian Constitution. That means the thing, okay, so that is the things. Now the major source means how many sections and articles were there, sections and schedules were there in the Government of India Act. That is 321 sections jago me article कहूछु 221 sections and 10 schedules. इटे बहुत समय रे एग्जाम रे पढ़े कि how many schedules, how many sections, articles were there in Indian Constitution. Okay, so that is the things. So सेतिपई भारतीय संविधान by Indian Constitution has borrowed many provisions from Government of India Act 1935. तो कौन आछि फेडरल स्कीम, ऑफिस ऑफ द गवर्नर, जुडिशियरी, इंटर जुडिशियरी के बाद पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन, and 3 public service commission were provided in 35, emergency provisions, administrative details. So बहुत सारी okay emergency provisions को सर्विस का पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन ये सब आधा चीज हमारा जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का डिवीजन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पावर. फेडरल स्कीम का मतलब क्या है, जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पावर 7 शेड्यूल है, जो 3टा लिस्ट अछि, यूनियन लिस्ट, कंकरेंट लिस्ट and your state list. So segura सब okay. So these are the things that are. Then British Constitution, हमें British Constitution ऊपरे कुआ जाए आनी ची बहुत जिनसे कारण ब्रिटिश टू हम बहुत जिनसे ये करचे तारी सिस्टम टू अडॉप्ट करचे with some modification. So British Constitution हमें rule of law है. Rule of law माने that is law, supremacy of law, supremacy of law, not supremacy of man. The legislative procedure, how the bill is passed, केमती उटे bill pass होबो, केमती से parliamentary bill आगत होबो, तो सीधा हमें ताको डुआंचे legislative procedure. Single citizenship भी ताको डुआंचे, कनाडा रे भी single citizenship होची. Cabinet system हमरो जहाँ भी सब होची, parliamentary system को cabinet system को आ जाए, कारण कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर जो कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर हेड है सी जहाँ सब निष्पत्ति नेबे सेटा ही हुए सेति पे पार्लियामेंटरी सिस्टम को कैबिनेट सिस्टम भी कहा जाए. प्रेरोगेटिव रिट्स, जो रिट सिस्टम गुरा हमर अछि हला रिट्स जोटा कि हमरा सब ये अछि पार्लियामेंटरी प्रिविलेजेस जो मेंबर मानकर रही छी, इंडिविजुअल प्रिविलेज माने स्वाधिकार माने ताकर कोन सब अधिकार रहिबो सेति ସେମାନେ अरेस्ट हे परिबेनी ताकर पार्लियामेंट भितरु कि तांको केई ये करि परिबेनी से इच्छा जा इच्छा ताकर कहि परिबे सेटा उटा अछि. तो बहुत किछि प्रोविजन अछि, हमें पार्लियामेंट पढला बेले देखिबा जदी प्रिविलेजेस ऊपर किछि आलोकपात करिबा. पार्लियामेंटरी गवर्नमेंट बाइकैमरलिज्म टा आनिছে ताकर ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट भी बाइकैमरल, ताकर हाउस ऑफ कॉमन और हाउस ऑफ हेलो शिवम, तो हाउस ऑफ हाउस ऑफ कॉमन्स, हाउस ऑफ लॉर्ड्स, तो बाइकैमरलिज्म रे अछि ताकर हाउस ऑफ कॉमन्स, हाउस ऑफ लॉर्ड्स. ओके, सो दैट इज द थिंग्स एवरा सब हमें ताको वी हैव हमने ब्रिटिश कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से लाया करते थे. देन यूएस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से हमने लाया है क्या, दैट इज फंडामेंटल। पार्ट 3 रे अछि ताकर सेठी बिल्स ऑफ राइट्स कहती, बिल ऑफ राइट्स अमेरिका रे इन यूएसए बिल ऑफ राइट्स कहती, एटा भी क्वेश्चन हुए। इम्पीचमेंट ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट, भारत रो प्रेसिडेंट कैसे वो इम्पीच होंगे। रिमूवल ऑफ जजेस, ओके, सुप्रीम कोर्ट हाई कोर्ट जजेस, जुडिशियल रिव्यू, सुप्रीम कोर्ट रो जुडिशियल रिव्यू, इंडिपेंडेंट जुडिशियरी, ऑफिस ऑफ द वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, ओके, जेमति हमर इंडिया रो वाइस प्रेसिडेंट अछंती, अमेरिका रो वाइस प्रेसिडेंट अछंती, ओके। सो दीज आर द things about your drawn from different sources, other sources are there, okay. We will complete the part in the next class. I hope ki this present today's class has been very useful to you. If any doubt or any phase you are facing while taking the class, please bring it to my knowledge, which I shall try my best to satisfy your passion, because your interest is our priority. Vanik put emphasis on your interest, students' interest. Okay, Vanik does not ignore it. So any problem, any doubt, any things that जो हो रहा है कि जो प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, जो डिफिकल्टीज आप लोग फेस कर रहे हो, प्लीज bring it to my knowledge while taking the class. ओके, आई शैल ट्राई टू बेसिक। बाकी लैंग्वेज के तौर पर कोई उड़िया बोलने के लिए कहते हैं, कोई हिंदी, कोई इंग्लिश, सो हमने सब मिक्सचर करके बोल रहा हूँ। एनी प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है तो प्लीज़ मुझे बताइए, मैं कोशिश करूँगा कि अगर मेजोरिटी चाहते हो कि अंग्रेजी में, बिकॉज इंग्लिश हैज टू बी लिसन टू, okay, because you will face the question in English and also Hindi also, but still English is a priority, okay. But if you choose to be taught in any particular language, you can bring it to my knowledge. I shall try my best, okay. So for today I would like to take a leave from all of you, and in the next class we shall be completing salient features and also related questions on it. Then we will start preamble to the constitution. So we are going up every class, you will find some MCQs. Today we had discussed MCQs on making of the constitution and the useful questions, easy questions in the first round, okay. So in this way we will cover a chapter, and then we shall discuss the MCQ, that is what Vanik format is. So we shall try to provide the, we will have 20 to 25 MCQs at the end of each chapter, okay. Then towards the end of the course I shall bring 100 to 150 questions for all of you, selected questions with relevant relevance with relevance for current examinations. I shall bring it 100 to 150 questions, whichever possible, towards the end of your polity course, okay. I hope this class is going on smoothly with all of you. You are getting something from this class, that is our reward, that is our satisfaction. So your satisfaction is our topmost or toughest priority, so we will not ignore you at any time. Thank you for watching this class and giving your vital constructive points or support to me. Thanks all.